Hello and welcome to Beauty to Bank, guys, the number one place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. All right. This is my first episode. I'm so excited to be here. This was something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And guys, listen, it's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie, but I'm so glad to be here. This was something that was very important for me to do for many reasons. I want to talk to you about that here. The digital shift. This first episode is called The Digital Shift because the beauty industry really needs to make a digital shift to stay up with the times for many reasons. Okay. If you are tired of trading time for money, drop a 1 in the comments, okay? Meaning that you are only making money when you are performing services, whether you're standing behind the chair, performing haircuts, eyelashes, doing brows, nails, whatever it is that you're doing, you're only able to make money when you are actually working, okay? So if 1 hour equals $100, which congratulations, that's amazing. But I think we realized last year with everything that went on with shutdowns and COVID and everything else, that guess what? These recession-proof businesses were not virus-proof. And I think that it was a really good shift for the beauty industry because it's important. It's important to think about how you want to spend your time, okay? Digital is so gangster because you are not limited into how much money that you can make. All right. Money literally works differently online. I know that sounds crazy, but let me tell you why I say that. Money works differently online because you can make $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $1,000 an hour, $10,000 an hour, or more. I know that sounds crazy, but it is literally that deep when it comes to digital products. There is no limit to how much money that you can make. And guess what? You do not have to pay for inventory up front. You literally do not have to buy many things up front to get started, okay? You can even start with as little as your phone, jumping on Zoom, getting on your computer that you already have, and you don't need an expensive computer. You can literally have a Chromebook, which literally starts somewhere around $100. You do not need much to get started. And even once you have a sale, let's say you're selling an ebook, let's say you're selling classes, webinars, tickets to your live webinars, people can literally just buy a ticket and you show up, or you can sell the replays and you don't have to ship anything. You don't have to print out shipping labels. You don't have to package anything up and ship it out. It is so amazing. It is literally one of the only things that I can think of where you can make money while you're sleeping. You can wake up in the morning to money in your bank account. And I'm excited to talk to my guests later more about this because we had a really great conversation about this. Now, one thing that I need everyone to, in addition to having this digital shift, is to have a mindset shift. I need you to shift your mindset and understand that every single person that's on here is an expert. You are an expert at what you do. There is something that you know that other people would pay to find out about. There's something that people ask you about all the time. Drop it in the comments. What is it that people ask you about all the time? Drop it into the comments. That is literally something that you can teach an online class. That's the easiest way to get started. Just a lot of times people see somebody that is, the ultimate, the peak, the complete expert, and they feel like, well, this person teaches about wigs, or this person teaches about lashes, or this person teaches about nails, and so I can't teach that because I'm not on their level. That is absolutely wrong. You still have something that can be added to the conversation. There are, as they say, there are levels to this. And you might be at, as Brother Garrett Dixon says, I love the way he expresses this all the time. He says that, sometimes if there's 10 levels, you might be on a 5, right? You might be a level 5 in your expertise, but you can help people that are a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1. So you absolutely have something to offer to the conversation. You can help other people. Okay. Let's just get past that and have that mindset shift first. Nobody owns a topic. So just because somebody else is teaching something does not mean that you cannot teach it as well. You have your own audience, and there's some people that would rather hear it from you than from somebody else. So at this point, the choice is yours. If you do want to start offering digital products, it's absolutely up to you. Um, and we're going to talk more about this later. Stay tuned. But the first thing I want to do is let's have a word from our sponsor, ShearShare. I want to share some great stuff with them. Amazing. If you haven't heard from them, you definitely want to hear from them. Yep.
With the new ShearShare mobile app, you can rent salon and barbershop space almost anywhere for any price. Licensed beauty and barbering professionals can find professional space to work with no long-term commitment or contract. Simply browse, book, and work. Choose your city, workspace type, amenities, and dates across almost 500 cities. Prices start at just $25 a day. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Download the ShearShare app for free at ShearShare.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Have you guys heard of ShearShare before? I think it's a dope concept. Okay. If you've got empty booths at your barbershop, your salon, your spa, whatever it is that you have, you can literally make extra money with that. Crazy. Download the app. All right. So my next guest here is, or my first guest is a person that I don't even think that I can have enough words to express how amazing she is. She is Cynthia Lumsey, the CEO of Maine Candy and House of Wigs. She is an influencer. She is an entrepreneur. She is a mogul. Her product line is so amazing. And she doesn't know this, but I actually used her product line today to do my hair. And we'll talk about this more. But I did use it today. It is amazing and it smells even better. She has also done online courses. She has made that digital shift last year, and I want her to share with you all of this good stuff. Make sure if you have any questions for her, make sure to go ahead and drop it in the comments. Cynthia.
Hey, how are you, Stephen?
I am good. I am good. I'm good. I'm so glad to have you here. I also forgot to mention Cynthia is absolutely one of my business besties. So if you guys
Absolutely.
don't know, that's why I'm like, I have to have Cynthia here. Cynthia and I talk about so many things and she always breaks it down. So Cynthia, oh my gosh, like what are we going to talk about first? You have so many amazing things.
Oh, there's so much going on, but you know what? I think we should
And
just
even
talk
if the
about the shift
relationships
I
are
had to
good,
make going from, working from home pre C-19 to, executing online classes and you know, taking advantage of being, kind of on lockdown. You know what I
Yep,
mean? I think a lot of people got so frustrated with being on lockdown. And to me, it was kind of like the perfect opportunity to, launch all your online stuff. Like you were saying earlier in the beginning, you were saying how people feel like they can't do it or they're not at a certain level because they think someone else is at another level. But to be honest with you, we're all kind of on the same path. We're kind of all on the same level. We just have a different way of displaying stuff and a different way of sharing the stuff that we're offering. So just because I'm teaching color doesn't mean another person that might not have as many followers or might not have done as many things as I've done doesn't mean that they can't share something that even I can utilize. You know what I mean? So I think people need to get out the mindset of just, oh my God, this person is doing it, so I don't want to do it because they're better than me. When in actuality, in my opinion, no one's better than me. It's just all in
absolutely.
how we display it.
That's right. And so take us back to early 2020. You had an event, an in-person event planned.
Right.
So tell us
So
about what happened there.
So I had my wig coloring boot camp, and it was supposed to take place last year. And literally, I would say I know that the class sold out. There was about 60, I think it was like 62 or 63 people that signed up for the class. And literally, the virus happened and everything got shut down, and it was kind of devastating in a way because I mean, what do you do? I mean, I had already paid for catering, I had sound, I had video, I had paid for flights for the other artists, I had paid for hotel. It was just so much that I did, and I don't think a lot of people really understand when you're putting on these big events. A lot of time you're paying for everything out of your own pocket. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we get the money back from the ticket sales. Well, if you're only taking deposits, you're not getting the full ticket sales because of a pandemic or whatever. It just threw me for a loop. I mean, it was. I mean, I'm still dealing with some of it to this day, and it's been
Yeah.
over a year. So it was hard, but you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing through.
Yeah, so these physical events, like going in person, they're super expensive. So you had to get what, a location?
Absolutely. So you have to have a venue, and of course that costs, whether it's in a salon or it's in a big room, that costs. And then you have to pay people to come and help you because you can't do everything by yourself, especially when you have classes and you're bringing in 60, 70, 80 people. You cannot control that all by yourself. Then you have to have food, drinks, all kinds of stuff, just for it to be a wonderful experience. So
Right. Did you
it
have
was a
to rent
lot.
like tables and chairs, or did your event space have that?
No, I had to rent tables, I had to rent chairs, I had to rent extra tables for the food prep people. I had to hire people to come in specifically for food prep. We also had a person that came in just because some people might have needed or did not realize that they needed daycare. So all that
Oh, wow.
cost. Yeah, it was serious because you got to think about it. A lot of people are single mothers, and you don't want to stop them from being able to get something that could take them to another level
Mm,
because you don't have adequate uh, services for them to take advantage of while they're there. So I made sure that I had people there and people ready just to be. And mind you, these classes were, I think, there were 10 hours. So I
oh,
had
wow.
to pay somebody to come. They're coming 30 minutes to an hour beforehand, getting stuff set up in their little section. Then they're there for the full 10 hours. And then I had it for 2 days. So it was quite a big budget.
Wow. So Cynthia, if I never thought this before, you have solidified the place in my heart of being a shero here because you brought daycare to your classes. Like, wow, I have never heard of such. You literally thought of everything. That is
Yeah.
amazing. I have never heard of that at a class.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just something I didn't want people to not come because of
Yeah.
not having adequate daycare. So it was just, I feel like it's something when you're doing in-person class and it has to be done. And a lot of times I've had it happen when I didn't actually have a provider, and it
Mhm.
just happened that someone was close that could come and help out. So I just knew that doing the classes from then on, I needed to have that provided for
Oh,
everyone, just
wow,
in
that's
case.
so amazing. So
Thank
you
you.
had this class, you had all these people, caterers, tables, chairs, event space, and shutdowns.
Everything just went. It was insane. It went down so fast, and then if you know me, I'm immediately going to panic mode. I started to panic because here I have invested so much. We're weeks away, and now I got to pull back. And mind you, I would say out of the 60 plus people, there was at least 15 to 16 people that were coming from other countries. They could not come. There was like absolutely nothing they could do because they were coming in from other countries. So it was just a mess. Just a
Wow,
mess.
wow. So, okay, so how did you first decide to do your event virtually?
It wasn't a decision that I made. It was a decision that I was put into. We could
Okay.
not leave. So because I couldn't leave, people couldn't leave. I had to figure out a way to, number one, provide the education that I felt was needed to the individuals that needed it. And then they couldn't come to me, I couldn't go to them. So the only other option I had was to figure out a way to utilize this technology. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you guys, I'm not technology, what do you call it, season? I'm
That
horrible with this. Yes, I'm not savvy at all. But I had to figure out a way, with my big girl pants on, to figure out a way to get the job done. And to be honest with you, I would honestly have to say it was one of the best decisions that I made because to this day, from the very first um, webinar that I did to this day, and that was over a year ago, I'm still making sales off of that very first webinar I did over a year ago. And I don't have to sit nothing
Wow.
out. So that's
That
huge.
is that is gangster. That's why digital is so gangster with the R. That's how I say it. But I wanna address something that you said because I know Cynthia, okay? And one of the things
Mhm.
that I love about Cynthia is not tech savvy. I can confirm that, okay? But the reason why I want to say this is because you know what to want. So even if you're not tech savvy, you know that you need to figure it out. You need to get some help. You need to find somebody. It does not stop what you're doing. You're going to make it
Right.
happen regardless. And I love that about you because
Mhm.
even you'll see something that somebody else is doing and you'll say, okay, who can help me get this look? I like you pay
Mhm.
attention to those details. And
Mhm.
that's so important to get help.
Yes.
You,
And
you
what
have to
people
know what
realize,
you want.
yeah, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. It wasn't easy for me to get the help that I needed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I paid a lot of money out to people just to teach me different stuff. I felt like, if I reach out to somebody and ask and they say, well, I teach this, okay, fine, and I'm gonna pay for this and I'm gonna get what I need from the situation. Or I'm the type of individual because I know if I need something I have to have it, I'm not gonna necessarily rest until I get it. So therefore, it's been situations it's been situations where I've actually reached out to people. They don't even teach what they do, but because I like the quality of something that they're doing or I like the way something looks, I will pay them for the information. I don't feel like I'm above that. You understand what I'm saying? So I did a lot just so that I could still be standing here today. And sometimes it was just reaching out to someone that had like the camera quality was good. Okay, I need to know what kind of camera that is, what kind of lens it is, etc. So I remember reaching out to a person. They didn't even offer this as a class. I said, "Listen, how much will it cost for you to tell me what camera, what lens, and go over the settings with me?" And
Right.
they obliged, and that's how I was able in the beginning to have some webinars that were higher quality.
Right. And it's a lot of people don't even think about just dropping into the DMs and saying, "How can I get a one-on-one with you?"
Mhm. Mhm.
That's it. I mean, it's
That's it.
literally that simple. Like you don't have to go crazy on it. Okay. Let
Absolutely.
let's come back to digital. But I want to do let's do a quick commercial break. But I want to come back. I want to talk about your products and then I want to talk about your physical products and then I want to go back to your digital products if that's okay. Can you hang out for a second, Cynthia?
Sure, sure.
Okay, perfect. So I want to talk. I'm actually going to be taking this show on the road. Yes. And we're going to be actually taking this to a 2-day conference so everybody can kind of experience. So I'm going to let's roll the tape here on the Beauty to Bank virtual conference. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm so excited. Cynthia is going to be one of my speakers on just dropping gems. She's always dropping gems. Your branding and marketing is crazy, Cynthia. And I mean, I think people can see it so much when they look at your products. I mean, how did you get the idea? This candy stuff is crazy. And literally, my hair smells like candy. Okay. Like it smells so amazing. How did you get the idea for this branding?
Well, to be honest with you guys, a lot of people don't know I'm always cooking up something in the background. So years before this whole situation happened and me launching my first product, I had been putting this in the works years prior. So I've always had the name per se. Um, it was slightly different, And then, I mean, sometimes stuff just comes to you. I'm always constantly, writing something down or I'm putting something in my notes. And when I made the decision to drop, the product line, first you got to have a name. And I was just like, And bada bing, bada boom. I think I even looked at some old stuff and it was just like, oh, that's right, man, candy. And that's how I came up with the name. You got to think about it. You were talking about hair. Another name for hair is mane. And I'm known for bright, intense color work that kind of resembles candy. And I mean, it was just no brainer.
Yes, and it smells so good. It looks so amazing. I
Thank
mean,
you.
your branding and marketing on with that line is just, I mean, literally it's just so special. Like opening up
Thank
that
you.
box and looking at it. I it's really amazing. I love it so
Thank
much.
you.
So the other question I have for you about, and I want you to share this a little bit more if you don't mind, is because I know a lot of people, and this is no shame in this, but your products are not private label. You didn't just buy a product and stick your label on it. Like you spent a lot of time with the
Hmm.
formulations about how you wanted it to smell. And can you talk a little bit
Hmm.
about that process?
Yes. Ooh, that process, that was a lot, a lot. I mean, thank God there are entities out there that will give you the ability to do private labels so that you don't have to go through that whole, research and development stage or having stuff reverse engineered because you like this particular product, so you want something similar to this. Because all that stuff costs and it costs quite a bit of money. So I'd be less of who I am as an individual to sit up here and say, oh, it wasn't expensive, or I started with $1 and I turned it into something that's creating 15,000 to $20,000 a month. No, I had a lot of money saved up, thank God for digital, because I was able to get quite a bit of money just from doing webinars and going digital with what I had to offer. And I recycled everything back into the color line. So yes, I worked with a chemist, I worked with the manufacturing company. Everything from Maine Candy is made pretty much from me with love. My goal for Maine Candy was to provide each and every single product that I could possibly need to perform the services that I did. I was a wig colorist and I've also been a hairstylist working behind the chair as well. So I wanted to provide everything that I could possibly need. And one thing that I think people, when you talk about pivoting, and I'm like, okay, the stuff with the wigs is going crazy. People need to start being able to protect the wigs that they have at home. We need to be able to give these wigs, their life again, resuscitate these wigs. And that's another thing that the brand is about. It's all about protecting your investment. You guys are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars monthly, yearly on hair extensions, wigs, eye tip extensions, all this commercial hair. And yes, there's products out there, but how many products are really there to protect that investment or really there to hydrate and emphasize what's already there? And I just wanted Main Candy to be that product line that you could go to when you're trying to make sure that you have some of the best products to use on your commercial hair that not only will work on your commercial hair, but it'll also work on your real hair as well. So yeah, I put
Well,
a lot into this.
awesome.
Thank
You
you.
sure did. I'm not a hairstylist, so I need instructions on how to use everything, but I did use um the fluff,
Hmm.
is it fast fluff?
Fast Fluff. That's my number one selling product right now.
Yes, I use that, and I like to use that when my hair is curly also. And I kind of
Hmm.
cheat. I have a video. I got to edit it here, but I put it in my hair curly, and I just use it like mousse. And then when my curly hair, curly hair doesn't really last long. Like,
Hmm.
if you have naturally curly hair and you do it, it doesn't last super long. So after a day or two, if it starts looking a little frizzy, then I will go ahead and take a curling iron and I will curl it, and then I added the drizzle drops to smooth it. So that's what I did today. So I'm loving it. I got a lot of
And it looks
compliments.
it looks very good, very nice, very healthy.
So even if you're not a hairstylist, guys, even if you're not a hairstylist, you can still use Cynthia's products. They're actually for everyone, right?
Hmm. Yes, they're for the professional, the non-professional, the novice. They're for everyone. They literally are for everyone. And one thing I want people to understand is that when I decided to go full steam ahead with this product line, I knew for a fact because of the type of demographic that I have, and I have a lot of people that work with commercial hair, work with extensions, weaves, wigs, and all that stuff. I knew it was something that I did not want it to be professional only. However, I do have, something for the professionals. Like within the next few weeks, we're coming out with larger sizes for my professionals. We're also going to have a couple other products that are probably going to launch I would say in about 3 months that are exclusive for the professionals. But I want everyone to be able to, protect their investment. Everyone should have products that they can use and love using. So, and that's what I provide with me.
Dope. All right. We're going to take another break here. We're going to hear from some of the students from my six figure business systems group coaching program. And that's the program where I help people set up their six-figure business systems. Last year, I was able to make six figures from digital products alone, 27 and $39 classes, and I created a group coaching program. So let's hear from some of those students, and we'll be back to you, Cynthia, in just a moment.
Being a
Great.
barber here from Instagram, you know that I was a barber by trade. I had barber schools, and a lot of beauty professionals have been wanting to move beyond the chair. I thank you for being my personal coach. For over these years, you've taken me from zero to seven figures online, and I just wanted you to know that I really appreciate you. You showed me how to do all of those funnels, the automated emails. I know I called you a lot and got on your nerves, but I've moved from behind that chair. Look what I got now. I got my own digital empire season. So thank you for all of the information you shared. I didn't know anything about how to do these automated emails, the funnels, everything that you've taught me. So if anybody's looking for a good coach and mentor to show them how to scale their business online, Season Bennett, the social barber, is the truth. Thank you, Season.
Oh, I'm on mute. That's okay. That's what happens when you're live. All right. So those of you guys who know, that was millionaire barber Uchindi Nawani, and he is always so entertaining. One of my first students that I had before I even had this group coaching program. And it is so funny to me to look at his growth because he was not like technical at all, but he has really just had that mindset shift and said, this is what I'm going to do. So, Cynthia, are you still with us?
I am. I'm
Uh,
here.
Okay, good stuff. Can you tell everybody about some of the classes that you have done? You've done so many. You've got so many available. Can you tell everybody about some of your more popular classes?
Yeah, well, one of my most popular class has to be the consistency is key class. That is a class where I'm teaching how to change the consistency of certain hair colors that might be a little bit too runny, they're not creamy. So there's an additive that I like to use inside of the actual color itself that will change the consistency. And the great part about it is you can change it to what you like. So, I might prefer to work with something that's a little bit thicker, where someone else might like to work with something that's a little bit thinner. So therefore, you can custom blend the additive into the color. So that's my most popular class. And a lot of people want to know how to do like kind of like those colors you don't see. I have one called Pretty and Peach. That one has like this real pretty berry brown, real pretty berry brown color, and then like the peak highlights. Everyone absolutely loves that. I can be honest with you and tell you, I've sold so many of those wigs, it's unbelievable. And that's another, top seller for the education. But what I've decided to do is sometimes I'll do something like how to do foil. But then I feel like a lot of times, for me, people want to know how to create a certain look. So that's why I've been coming out with like the blue denim, which is a specific look. I'm telling you how to do this specific thing and this only. And I'm trying to make sure, going forward that it's in bite size easy to digest, uh, like an easy to digest presentation. So it's not going to be no more of the 6, 7, 8 hour webinars. I'm editing everything and I'm just presenting it to you in a way where you can jump in and jump out and get back to what really matters. And that's what, you guys making money and creating this stuff easily on your own.
Well, I like making money.
Me
Okay.
too.
That's how I want to create this beauty to bank experience because I want people to take their beauty industry knowledge to the bank. And that's literally what you have done. Okay, so you're gonna kill me on this next question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Okay.
She's gonna kill me, y'all, because I know you're private, but a lot of my beauty professionals, I know that they need to understand, like we really need to get granular here. So can we talk numbers? Like what does
Oh,
having
Lord.
on the, I see she does. I like talking about this, but I think it's important. It's something I didn't talk about in corporate America. It's something I know,
Oh,
Cynthia, you and I are the same age. From where we come from, we don't talk about this kind of stuff, but I think that it's important so people understand why it's important, right? Because money gives you choices,
it does.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so Kim, even if we want to ballpark it, I know you don't like to talk about exact numbers, but like let's say, doing online classes, how much money could a person make, a beauty professional sharing, their knowledge on a webinar? How much
Oh,
they make?
oh, they can make 6 figures and 7 figures easily. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now, will it happen overnight to and for everyone? We don't know. You don't know unless you try. I'll tell you what, when I did my first webinar, and I'm real big on how I look, so I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna look right. Anyway, when I got past that hurdle and got on to what the goal was, my first class, I bought that in some insane numbers, like insane.
And you didn't have, like, you had hundreds of people, right?
Yes, yes. I had
Hundreds.
my first class, it was close to 300 people that signed up for that very first class I had. And yeah, yeah.
And you didn't charge a lot, right?
No, I did
You
not.
were charging a lot less than a lot of other people.
hmm Yes, it was very obtainable. It was under $100. I'll tell you that. But because the amount of people that uh came, you guys do the math. I mean, you can put in your own figures. You
Mhm.
know, you can go down to $50 and take $50 times 300, and that'll tell you right there where I was landing. And the class was more than 50. I'm very shy when it comes to talking
I
about
know.
money, and I'm gonna let me explain it to the world so that everyone understands why I'm like this. It's not that I super private is that I don't want no one to feel inferior
Yeah.
to me because they think I make all this money and I could be a certain way. I do that because I felt that before. I didn't like the way I felt. So therefore I
Yeah.
don't want anyone that comes into contact with me that feels like, because she makes this amount, she's unapproachable or you can't ask her anything. Because I feel like I could be that one person that might have something that you need that can further your life in general. And
Right.
if you don't ask it to me because you're intimidated by me, because you've heard or you've seen the amount of money that I bring in, and I just, that ain't cool. And I think a lot of individuals do that to make themselves feel better. And I don't need that to make me feel better because I already feel good. Whether I had money or not, I'm always going to feel good. So it is what
Yeah.
it is. That's why I do. I do.
Yeah. So
So,
the only reason I kind of shifted and I started talking about money more is because I need people to understand, okay, it doesn't have to be a small amount of money. Okay. And I know one, and I think that's one of the videos we have here, and hopefully we can play the last two videos back to back, the last two testimonials from a couple of my students. But one student, she in one night of teaching her live webinar, she made what she makes in the salon in a week. And she made it in, like, I think her class was 2 hours or less. So just, kind of equating, like, listen, it is serious, and how much money that you can make. It's really up to you. It's about being known for that, being consistent, right? Like I love what you said, consistency is key. That's something, even before I met you, that's something I used to talk about all the time with social media marketing. And so just knowing that, you can make that money. And what's a lot of money to one person is different to another person, but knowing that this particular person made in one night what she makes in a whole week. So yeah, can we go ahead and roll those?
My name is Garrett Dixon. I've been a barber for 32 years. I just want to give a special shout out to Susan Bennett. She's helped me with my online course. I didn't know how to do this stuff. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And she took control, showed me what to do, walked me through it. And next thing you know, it's been very successful in my career. So thank you, Susan Bennett. If you're thinking about doing an online course, this is the person for you. I would highly recommend her. She helped change my life. I know she'll do the same thing for you.
And we find out about your classes because you've got so many amazing digital products that are available for everyone.
So if you go on my Instagram page, in my bio, there's a link for the House of Color Academy. That's where we're housing all of the webinars and all the pre-recorded webinars, also some ebooks and some actual color formulas. For those of you who don't necessarily want to take advantage of the webinar, you can just purchase a formula. I tell you exactly what I use. You can mix it up and bada bing, bada boom, you recreated something, a masterpiece that I've created before. So again, if you go on my Instagram page, which is Cynthia Lumsey, and in the bio, you will find the link to the House of Color Academy.
Yes, and we had all your links right up there on the screen. I mean, look at those wigs that Cynthia does. Who does not want to know those color formulas? They're so amazing. Cynthia, I cannot thank you enough for joining me on my first show. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, business bestie. I really appreciate you. I know this is a lot, but I appreciate it.
No problem. And thank you so much for having me. To be honest with
Anytime.
you, this is going to go down in history and we're going to be part of history. I'll be on your first show when you make it to the big time because you're on your
That's
way. Because, like,
right. I love
you
it.
know, yes, she's the perfect one. When I tell you guys I know nothing about the computer, this woman has stepped in and changed my life. So she's the go to person when you want to know about this digital world. She's the one to go.
Oh, thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome, honey.
All right. So, guys, just before we wrap up here on this number one first show that we've done, I want to go ahead and I want to invite you to join me on Wednesday night. I am doing a free masterclass. I have the link to register. You do have to register. It's absolutely free. I'm going to be breaking down my system for how I was able to create six figures online, right? I actually made six figures with $27 and $39 products. Okay. There is a system to doing it. I've had my online school since 2015. And it took me till 2020 to make that amount of money for a lot of reasons. You don't need a lot to get started. You need to have the right mindset. You need to make a decision. And I'm here to help you. If you want to learn, click to register. Yes, the link is in the description. Wherever you're joining us from, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere else, please make sure the link is in the description. Register, come to the free masterclass, and learn for yourself. Find out if it's for you. I believe that every single beauty professional should have a way of making money without standing behind the chair. All right, without standing behind the chair. If you are looking for the secrets, come to the class on Wednesday. All right. Now, I want to thank every single person on here for joining me on my first ever Beauty to Bank show. Remind you also, I am taking my virtual show on the road for a 2-day conference with some really super amazing people. I do have free tickets for that as well, but you do have to register. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here with me and spend some time with me on your day off for the Beauty to Bank show. It is the #1 place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. Please go ahead and share this with your friends, your family, your business besties, and I will see you on the next episode of Beauty to Bank.